Great good morning, everyone. It is a beautiful Wednesday, July 9th, 2025. It is 9:10 a.m. on my Cordaro watch. Broadcasting today from the United States of America. I can prove it because the president and the entire cabinet love this country. It's also the place where the brave, like the veterans we salute today, thanks to John Basiliga and his great family of companies. They've passed away. We celebrate them, but they made us free. The United States of America, founded with a certain knowledge and understanding by our incredible founding fathers, that the government is not, shall not be, cannot be our parent, our guide, our direction, our salvation. Not any of these things, but is nothing more than a necessary evil we require to organize and protect society. The United States of America, the country where, for the first time in human history, freedom was declared to be an unalienable right granted to each individual by God. Freedom could not be parceled out to groups. It could not be controlled by government or government officials. Hear me, you COVID addicts? Our great American Constitution ensures and codifies freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of association, economic freedom, and freedom of the press. Well, that's okay if they lie. We get it. Now, armed with these freedoms, and only because they had them, a ragtag bunch of immigrants, rejects, and their progeny created the richest, most powerful, most culturally diverse and accepting nation ever to grace our beloved planet Earth. America, the only place specifically invented and designed so that every American can live their life in the manner they choose, unlimited by their background, upbringing, race, color, or creed, unhindered by the government or those who would use government, and they are legion, to control others for their own comfort, benefit, or power. This Bob Cordaro Show, well, it'll always be convincingly conservative, lovingly logical, proudly and passionately patriotic, and reliably right. And so we gavel to order this meeting of the Club for Common Sense, promising you a sanctuary of sanity for the balance of this morning. And those great veterans we'll be talking about today: Dominic Suma, late of Florida, but formerly of Dunmore. Thomas Tanfield, late of Venice, Florida. Well, he was formerly of Moscow. Thomas Matejek, Zion Grove. Chester Chet Maraziak, Trescow. Harold Jolene, Berwick. And our final veteran, Rudy Jacobs of Bloomsburg. So, I love that Gutfeld thing. He really is one of my favorite observers. He's not necessarily an opinion host. He's part comedian. He's part this. He's a lot of things. But he's a keen observer of all the things going on. And my man Mark Mayer concurs. So P. Diddy, I don't know, I'm not starting off with this because it's the most important thing, but it just stuck in my head and I had made a note in my phone. I've transitioned from writing things down to putting things in my phone. But P. Diddy's going to be sentenced in October for much reduced crimes. I'll give you my guess, he's going to get 10 years. They may say, we're going to give him 10 for this and 10 for each of the crimes that he was convicted of, but they'll merge them together in terms of sentencing. They'll run concurrent, and he gets 10. Elon Musk and his new party, our second five to follow. I just don't think he's going anywhere. I really don't know what his problem is. Was he that naive about Washington, D.C.? I can't believe it. I mean, he lobbied. He understands things. He's a brilliant guy. He's like a woman scorned. He just, I'm not getting it. I'm really not getting it. Maybe he'll, back down. But he could do damage to certain Republican seats without a doubt. And certainly in a presidential race down the road. Because in key seats, it's thousands of votes only. And he could upset that. But we'll follow it. I still like Elon Musk. I'm just stunned at his naivete and not understanding how things work. And when you see the vote, unless he thinks he could turn over, 200 seats in the House and 30 in the Senate, what's your point? I'm not getting it. Other than some sort of perceived revenge. I don't see it. For number 4 in our 5, or is it 3? 3 in our 5 to follow. The Epstein situation. Now, a lot of us were led to believe, I was one of them. I don't think it's overly important or anything, but a lot of us were led to believe that was the kind of thing that Trump was going to expose. So we've got the Kennedy assassination. That's why I gave him an A- when somebody asked me yesterday. We have the Kennedy assassination, and we haven't gotten all of that info yet. The Epstein deal, we don't have his collaborators or the people that maybe he was blackmailing. And we don't have a fulsome explanation that, okay, it didn't happen. Okay, that's fine. I could actually accept it, but you better explain it to me and a lot of other people. So those things, the MLK assassination, the RFK assassination, the JFK assassination, and now this Epstein deal. I've told you, there's not a doubt in my mind, having spent a lot of time in our prison system and in the special housing unit where Epstein died, that he killed himself. I have no doubt. I mean, zero. But the rest of it, there were people who were collaborating with him. There were people who were flying on his plane and who were interacting with him with young girls that need to be exposed. And I don't know why that's not happening. And then something that warmed the cockles of my heart, number 4 in our 5 to follow, the Brennan Comey investigation. And I say it's about time, and I say, where is Clapper? Remember that goofy-looking little jerk? Another of the liars in chief. So, Brennan Comey investigation, get it on. It's a guarantee they coordinated in trying to destroy Donald Trump. They used their positions to do so. They are horrible human beings. They were horrible at their jobs. And I'm excited that they're being investigated criminally by the FBI. And finally, in our 5 to follow, ICE. The Democrat Party, this is how disgusting they've become, is literally trying to get them harmed. Federal law enforcement, they're trying to harm federal law enforcement, encouraging people to attack them, calling them the Gestapo and all that, and now they want to unmask them so that their families get harmed. This is a new low even for the Democrat lunatic left. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. And what are they fighting for? They love these illegal criminal aliens. I don't get it. There's no planet on which that makes sense. If you're a Democrat, you've got to be ashamed of your leadership. They are the dumbest, most corrupt, sickest people on the planet. Well, they're tied with people like Putin, people like Xi Jinping, Kim Jong-un. Yeah. Oh, yes, they are. They lie about everything. They're for everything but the American people. That's the Democrat Party of today. That's who they are. All right. We'll take our first break. Bob Cordaro, WILK. Do you believe we're not even 6 months into Trump? How great is this all going? It really is. With that big hiccup that we want exposure for good, bad, or ugly of all of these conspiracies that we've thought about, talked about, cogitated about. We want it all. We want the information out and let the chips fall where they may. We'll be back. Great sponsors, a little history, a little music, and then you at 570-883-0098. Call or text. Isn't that a good song? This date, 1955, history was made as Bill Haley in the comments had their first #1 rock and roll hit with Rock Around the Clock, Murph tells us. And then the first successful open heart surgery. Can you believe it? 1893. Wow. Man, fascinating. Somebody texts in, Bob, I fly a lot and don't like the new shoe policy by Nome for TSA. Will feel less safe flying now. I'm with you on that sort of torn. But it was an incredible waste of time. You're going into the X-ray machine anyway. So I don't know. I mean, I think because you're getting X-rayed anyway, or whatever they call it, scanned, that you're safe. And the shoe thing was really an overreaction. But I guess we're going to see, aren't we? Somebody texts in, Bob, they want the ICE agents unmasked because they think it will scare the agents into quitting, thus leaving the illegals to carry on unbothered. Is that mental illness or what? Seriously, is that mental illness? That's the Democrat Party, mentally ill. There's no defending it. There's no defending any of their positions at this point. Tom from Dallas says the Democrats are so gullible and buy every lie the Democrat Party and news media tells them. Trump is Hitler, while Israel, one of the biggest Jewish countries, just nominate him for the Nobel Peace Prize. Yeah, but he's Hitler. I know, it's just insane. Inspector Guy checking in. Hi, Inspector Guy. Yeah, I mean, Ginny C's checking in. She said, wouldn't it be wonderful if people wouldn't fight Trump on everything he's trying to do, which we voted for him to do? Yeah. Oh. They're talking about all the roadblocks, and yet he's accomplished so much, and he has. They are afraid he'll do a good job, Ginny. That's exactly what they're doing. Ginny said, let's pray for him. We need him. America needs him. I'm with you. Somebody says some Republicans want to do away with the TSA and have the airlines do it totally against. I mean, the airlines have as much or more at stake as anyone, so conceptually I don't have a problem with it. I don't know. I think it's too intrusive, my own view. I don't like any of that stuff. Never mind the shoes off. I just don't like any of it. And are they paying attention? Are they? I mean, if I was doing that job, a TSA inspector, and I don't know, at some point you got to glaze over. In a big airport? Come on. Bob makes me wonder if the big plan was to let all the illegals in, get them as registered Democrats, settle them in areas that were red. Maybe that's why they're still trying to protect them, ALTS. ALTS back at you. That is exactly their plan. Now remember, there's a first stage of benefit to the Democrats. Now, they're screwing up cities and states horribly because of disgusting, stupid, idiotic left-wing Democrat policies. So people are moving away, which means they're going to lose representation in Congress, in state houses, and federal money. So what did they do first? This is what proves they know they suck. They fought Trump tooth and nail that every census has to count people, not American citizens. So all they have to do is have you in their city or in their state, and they hold on to representatives when everything gets reapportioned. So I look at New York City losing population by the droves. If this clown Mamdani ever wins, it'll be that giant sucking sound Ross Perot talked about years ago. So what do? They import illegals to be counted in the census, and they have just as many congresspeople, just as many state representatives, no matter how badly they screw up. And if they get to vote, even better. So yeah, you're right. That is what it is. Front and center. And then you have a bunch of naive idiots like, oh, they're just people. Yeah, well, so are the Americans. They're just people, and they're who we have responsibility for. It's a sick, twisted ideology that owns the Democrat Party. Their entire leadership is sick. There's no better way to call it. You can't call it any other way. Ugh, frightening. Well, my Bacardo's watch tells me it's 9:32. We'll take a break. We'll come back, Veterans Tribute, and much more on the Bob Cordaro Show. Our veterans this hour and every hour, this day and every day. Brought to you by John Basiliga and his great companies. Well, it's Wednesday. The Stegmeyer Mansion is open. Gosh, guys, you're going back to another era and having incredible fine dining and a fantastic bar at the same time. The Stegmeyer Mansion, South Franklin Street, Wilkes-Barre. Well, guess what else? You got the Far Street Tavern open tonight. Old Brook Inn. Scranton Art House. Atera is open. They've changed their days. No more Mondays. They're open Wednesday. And the Queen City Tavern. All great places. Dominic Suma, formerly of Dunmore. We lost him May 20th. He was born in Scranton, a graduate of the Dunmore High School, class of 64. He joined the U.S. Marine Corps and served us there. Prior to retirement, he worked as a remodeling contractor in the city of Scranton. He was a member of the McHugh Bushweller Post in Dunmore. the Disabled American Veterans Dixon City, and the American Legion in Oliphant. When he lived in Foley, Alabama, he was a member of their Marine Corps League. We have one of the greatest on the planet right here in Scranton. Surviving are his daughters, sons, grandchildren, and great